Man, Yaba is so fucking cool. Before you hit live, man, that guy is.
All right. So you might have heard a little something there because I might have pressed the button when I shouldn't have, but I don't think it really matters for our stream. Thank you to everyone that's here. We got Victory Studios. We got ODC Racer, Bebeomega's in the chat. Oh, wait, he's here as well. And we have a
I'm
special guest
everywhere, man.
today. Just kind of lucky the timing worked out. We listened to this amazing podcast where Matt came on. He got to really expand a lot of his ideas. And so why not steal some of this man's thunder below? Go ahead, Bajingles, and say hi to the crowd.
Well, I'm surprised you remember my name this time, Steve. That's
I'm
just
getting
playing.
old, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Touche.
old.
Touche.
No, happy to be here, man. I'm glad the timing worked out. Yeah, for those of you that haven't had a chance to check out the episode with Yaba from we dropped it about 12 hours ago, 15 hours ago or so. Um, yeah, dude goes into a lot of depth around some very, very, integral stuff into what we can expect for 2024. And yeah, just a lot of fun always chatting with that guy. And yeah, kudos to Matt for making time to hop on with us. I think the episode ran for better part of 2 hours, and it's the second time that we've been fortunate to wrangle some of Yaba's time for the People's Guild. So, getting him to a place where I felt like he feels really comfortable chatting with Hep and I. So, it kind of didn't feel like the pressure of town hall sort of thing, and yeah, all around a lot of fun. Shout out to Yaba, cool dude, very much
Yeah,
appreciative of him taking the time
See,
to hop on with us.
see, we're very smart. Like we get you like we let you get Yaba and talk to him for hours, and then we get you here so you can summarize everything that is said. So, yeah, smart of us. But
yeah,
welcome
and
to
and
everybody
also
at
just in case he
our
was
show.
being nice to Matt and not fighting back on a few different points, he can fight back more here. No, I know you wanted that cheaper
You
TC
gotta
in
maximize
Champion.
time with Yaba, Stever. Come on
I
now.
know, I know.
Hey guys, I
I,
just wanted to say, wait, I wanted to say hello to everybody. I mean, you got your introductions, and I didn't say hello to Aftersound, for example, or from Tales from the Crypt Monster, or even to the people. Oh, wait, he's here. Even to the Supreme Victory Studios and Stock Jockey and Redex. So, welcome everybody, and I hope you enjoy the show. We have a great, great, great guest who had a great, great, great guest himself. So now we'll have a nice conversation about all Splinterverse.
Yeah, and this last minute booking really started because Bejangles and I keep going back and forth with a haha I beat you and a haha you beat me comes at me every once in a while because we've been battling it out in Champion a lot lately. So I can tell you're enjoying the new set and using them and up mixing it up there at the top, which is kind of interesting to see. And that's one of the nice things I think we do have a lot of new players up in the top of modern. It feels like.
Agreed, man. And yeah, thankfully it's come at a time when there's no bot modern, and you can take it to the next level and really embrace that social element. After you and I played, I went up against Tails. He tried to pull a fast one on me. I beat him. Um, Shout out Tails. And we were having a little bit of a conversation and kind of chatting around the episode from with Yaba as well. And there's a little bit of alpha. I'm not sure if I should drop it on the air.
Yes, of course.
It's
Drop it like it's hot, then.
speculative alpha. I think
Doesn't
we
matter.
can
We like
have we
we like to
go
speculate.
ahead, baby.
We like to speculate. Go on.
Well, maybe I'll save it for a little bit later.
No, 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 no,
But
no, no. Drop it like it's hot, man.
okay, so after we got off the call, Hep, I don't know if you guys if anybody out there has been listening to any of the recent episodes, but Hep Thorne has been banging the drum of immunity is OP for ages. Grim Bardoon has kind of really drawn a focal point on that, and Hep, despite having a Max Grimbardoon and being able to make those plays, still feels, like according to the lore, like Cripple, for example, it crushes bone. How is immunity preventing such physical damage, that sort of
Looks
thing.
like
So
a
we started
force
talking to
field.
Yab about it after we wrapped up the call, and said that was something we wanted to bring up with Call Me Tim, uh, specifically how it relates with my buddy Dallin, feeling like he would be a great potential counter um for the likes of Grim Bardoon, and in times past Almo, Kralis, all these big heavy hitting immune
Yeah,
tanks
inevitable right
that
now.
inevitable. And Matt responded that he pretty much was in wholehearted agreement. He felt like the team needed to do a better job of kind of bucketing the damage, the nerfs, the debuffs, the buffs into physical and magical, and potentially something else, and that immunity should theoretically only protect against the magical and potentially the something else. So, yeah, that's exciting. We'll have call me Tim on, like I said, in 2 weeks, and we're gonna dive into that really deeply. So hopefully that means that there's something coming in the way of either a buff to cripple or an adjustment to immunity. Um, but yeah, I don't know if that's quite the alpha that you guys were hoping for, but I feel like
Oh,
that's
any
that's
alpha is
that's
good
big.
alpha.
That
But
It's big for the
yeah,
meta.
I heard you and Rogue also on his episode talk about that with Hep, and I agree. I don't like that pretty
yeah,
much
it's
if
sad. It's sad
if
and
Panda
happy.
is available, you have to play Panda, Grimbardoon, weapons trainer, secondary healer, nether healer, and then scattershot. And that's like what you have to do if those teams are available to be competitive right now. Because if you don't counter it, and then it becomes a super RNG fight. It's do my scattershot guys hit your weak targets and take them out, your healers, or does your scattershots hit them? And whose unlucky scattershots only hit Grimbardoon? it's
Yeah, I
it's
usually play
absolutely wild.
three weapon trainers.
But
Yeah,
but
yeah, you're
that's
absolutely right, man.
interesting.
There's so much Lily being played at the moment that if you're not packing scattershot, you're pretty much handing over the victory to your opponent.
Okay, but wasn't the same situation with Kitty being overpowered and no Kitty, especially Kitty Almo, and nothing had ever been done. Uh, the only thing is like, okay, we're adjusting for whatever. Like, we're not nerfing stuff. We're introducing counters, and I don't know. It's still I do still lose every now and then battles with Green Pardon. It's not like he's not uh he's not invincible. He can be immune, but he's not invincible. But I don't know. As I said, I'm torn. I'm both happy and sad about this because yeah, I do like you, Jangles. I do like my friend Galan, but then again, it's just two, three cards that are really that meta, and only one really that can be used with weapon trainers.
I don't know. In
Mm.
champion, it runs pretty wild, man. It's immunity tanks up front with healers in the back who are camouflaged.
Oh yeah, but Jacek is a pretty good counter to that.
Yeah, but Yasik isn't always available because you
Or
get those teams that are not
neither is
there.
Dragon or Fight or Water always available.
I think the bigger argument is moving away from, because I don't like the games coming down to RNG. Like it's just it's a total crapshoot. It throws skill
Yeah,
out the window. Okay, I've
yeah.
I've got a bigger Chaos Dragon than you do. You know what I mean? Like and
Yeah, it
having
doesn't even come
something
down
like in
to who has the better cards. It just comes down to who gets the better scatter shot.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
It's
but
amazing.
it has to be like something has to be like there is a element of randomness, and I hate when I lose because of randomness. Like the other day, there was a battle that I had that the guy probably had like one chance of winning, but everything was just like with equal speed. His Quora did twice double damage, like damaging on one turn, then like last on the one turn and then first on the other, and that's a big difference. And that's RNG who is actually going to be first and last, and that decides the game. But it is what it is. Like you win some, you lose some. It has to be something to be a factor when equal skilled players are playing.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
disagree, but I do feel like immunity is potentially a little bit too overpowered. And I like the idea of adjustments to abilities as a whole and therefore affecting a collective group of cards versus okay, Kitty is clearly too powerful. We need to nerf this card. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's a different approach to a similar end, and I like the idea of. I still don't think cripple is that great. You know, it's you can play to that in cripple rule sets and stuff like that, but very seldom do I play a card because it has cripple. It's not like a hallmark ability. Whereas I think if immunity suddenly becomes um it's
Cripple.
permeable to yeah to being crippled. All of a sudden, Dallin is going to be a very heavy hitting play. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
potential
that would
there.
change it a lot because if you could reduce his health down, because really the one way I see him lose usually when he doesn't when he does lose is because you didn't put enough heal on him, and the other team actually focuses enough damage on him to get through him. And since your team is usually relying on that not happening, it can make you lose. But it's usually when you try to use them when you shouldn't.
Well,
Because and
but
it's
the
easy
thing
to
is,
fall
like,
into that crutch of just using him
there are
because
a lot of,
he
you know,
dominates so easily.
yeah, a lot of weapon trainers, especially the magic ones, they're at three magic. So I mean, they're three plus magic, so they give three magic, and those three magics are actually doing two damage to him all the time if there is no silence. So if you have several, it kind of actually piles up enough to not be able to be out healed. Because if you focus only healing on him, then you wouldn't have enough sustainable damage to take out the rest of his team. So I don't know. It just, as I said, I've seen it fall,
The
but
one thing that the reason why I would be comfortable with some kind of change maybe that made it not so obvious is because it just has become such an obvious play. It's like you see Lily's available, Yasek's not. You look at the other team, they have a Grim Bardoon. Okay, we're going to go play a scattershot RNG game. Or who brings the more healers to the game, or who brings the guy with life leech to the game, who actually is able to get some life leech
wasn't it the same with
for the fatigue time. And it's not that it's like unreasonable, but it's just it's made things a little repetitive up there with your team selection, and I don't love that. I'd like more teams to be competitive. I'd like more of the new tactics summoners to be competitive. Um, and I'm not sure they are.
Oh, where did
Oh,
Jengos
he
go?
came back.
Oh,
So
okay.
They were here. Sorry,
Now you're
gents.
Bojangles. You're not people guild anymore. In case you want to change it, I'm just saying.
Oh, that's all right.
but your alpha kind of buried the lead. I thought the first thing we'd talk about, because I don't know if you want to stay for the whole show tonight, since we did kind of just drag
Of
you in
course,
here
he wants
last
to stay
minute,
for sure.
is one of the big things that Matt broke a lot more detail on your show was how he wants to completely redo ranked play. How he does maybe want to get rid of the leaderboards except for champion. He does want to get rid of the level caps. He does want to stop you from being able to stay in bronze. And it was an amazing thing to hear him verbalize, because I've for a long time said that one of the problems we have in this game is we don't have enough people who want to move up, that want to level up their cards. They get comfortable in silver, they get comfortable in bronze. You have entire great content producers who would make series like, you're better off running 2 silver accounts than going to gold. I mean, I've seen those arguments made because of cost and earning potential and your ability to just make more. And a complete rework from the top down like that with the goal of making it so 100% of the time you're going to want to go up, that you're going to want to be better, that you're going to want to be growing your collection if you want to earn more, it is exactly the kind of system I feel like we should have at this point. And I do feel like the leaderboards for the different leagues, have created a situation that's not healthy for the game.
Well, yeah, agree. And I mean, guilty is his charge. Also, I stay in diamond, and I plan to keep on staying until the elo change comes because it just for the moment for me, yeah, okay, it is a little bit about the SPS, but not so much. It's about the soulbound cards because I still like, unlike you, I still don't have a lot of them maxed, and I still need like to hit some good RNG to make that happen, and time is running out. And yeah, sure, I would be able to buy whatever I'm missing or get it from my out account, whatever it is. But it just for me, that's the stimulus is like to get as many chests as possible because I believe there are not enough incentives to exchange 80 diamond chests for 60 champion chests. Sure, there is a slight percentage difference on the rolls, but then you get 20 more rolls. So it's like it's not the difference in percentage is not high enough to justify just giving away 20 chests or whatever. And that's just I'm talking about only the end of season. Like when I count through the whole season with the dailies, it can come up to like 50 chests, and that's a big difference. So yeah, I'm currently incentivized to stay in diamond and deal with the whole you win win win, then you lose one, and it's like you haven't win for 10 games. You have to start over, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it makes more sense for me to stay in diamond. I want to try and see how far I can go in champion, but I know with everything that is set up in place at the moment, it's not really viable for me. So that's what I'm doing.
Mm. Yeah, big fan of the proposed adjustments to ranked. I feel like kudos to Matt and Co for this has been the ranked system for years and years, and they've tossed bits and pieces at it to try and counter whatever the current issue was. And then here we are in starting the new year, focusing on new user experience, not just new user experience, but player experience. And Matt's willing to throw everything out the window, start back at scratch with how do we create an enjoyable and encouraging ranked battle system for everybody, where there's never going to be a discouragement or evidence that you shouldn't have climbed higher. Every reward at a higher ranking is going to trump whatever you got previously. Um, I thought it was really interesting. He mentioned something along the lines because Hep is he's a perpetual gold player, um, and he called out why would I be incentivized to go above that? And it sounds like you know Matt's idea is ranking is going to trump everything else, and therefore you're going to be matched with the most appropriate player for your current ranking and assumedly your skill base. And
Yeah, I
Hep
like to
called
be
out, well, I've
actually.
got a 60-70% win rate. The goal is to get you to a place where your skill starts, petering out and you're right around 50-50. And Hep's counter was, essentially that he's potentially going to be losing out on a bunch of SPS and that sort of stuff. But yeah, the idea that all of those gold chests that you've earned for the day or for the season would start turning into diamond chests as you continue to progress.
Yeah.
And in your case, baby, those chests would start, transforming into champ chests, I would assume. Um, yeah, it's just very cool to hear that Matt is so open and willing to take everything that we know about ranked, throw out the window. Let's go back to the drawing board and reassess and set up the right system.
Yeah, in a way, I like to be forced into it. Like, yeah, I like to have no choice. So, and I also hate the whole leaderboard game because it also takes away a lot of from ranked play. Like people, certain accounts like make certain amount of wins in the beginning of the season, and then they just stop playing and put on their bots in wild and just collect DC at the end of the season. It's I don't know. There'll be a lot of outro. I feel like a lot of people will be complaining. And the same thing with the immunity. Like imagine all those people that was spending. I think at some point it come to low what like $30 or something. The Green Balloon. It became very expensive. So all those people buying it because he's meta, and now all of a sudden the team is saying, "Oh well, I mean, it's too imbalanced now, and we want to make it so it's affected by crypto, let's say." So yeah, maybe there'll be a lot of people complaining there as well. But I'm used to people complaining, so we'll deal with whatever comes.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, but I do like. And oops, I did it again. I keep tapping my ear to fix my thing.
Welcome to the People's Guild.
I'll just close that out now, but
Oh, that
so
was
I
secret
don't accidentally start it again. But
secret
yeah,
advertisement for Aqualis.
the thing that Matt was trying to oh, and I started using Aqualis. I should go ahead and say that we're not sponsored yet, but you guys sold me on it, and the reason I switched to it was because I was on Peak Monsters and I did a mad buy of cards, and I accidentally bought a max level card when I was trying to buy a single. And that's what you get when you're not sleeping enough, and you're buying them late on a Sunday night, and you're just clicking the thing, and then you just click add, and you go, "Why did 100,000 DEC just disappear?" I thought I was buying
Jeez.
14 copies.
Good thing you got $3 back.
but that wasn't on his. That was on Peak Monsters. So then I went
You
over
get
to
some
Aqualis
big
finally,
master token
and I
that
went,
was
"Oh
nothing.
look, this is like really simple. I mean, kind of annoying because if I want to buy 50, I have to click 50 times, unless there was a button I didn't see. But I did get money back for the rest of the purchases after that, as opposed to earning the on Peak Monsters. You do earn the PKM token, but it hasn't shown to hold that much value. So
Oh, in honesty, Plex, you're also getting some cash back, but maybe if Aqualis decide to sponsor us as well, we'll talk more about them. Don't
yeah,
give them freebies, man. Don't give them
but
freebies.
the key thing
Baby,
that
come on now.
that the interview with Matt showed me that the town hall didn't, and this was what was so special about the show, and all of you should make sure you go and watch it because you'll hear it yourself. He is determined to make it so that players like Bebe and players like Hep don't want to stay where they are anymore. That the system will be made in a way so you won't be mad that you're have a higher rank or that you've been forced to move up. And then the other point he made that we haven't mentioned that much, or that was so genius, is by removing the level caps, which scares some people. I'm going to be in bronze playing max level cards. Well, not for very long, because that person's going to get out of bronze very quickly. But if you're a player who comes into the game and you're like, okay, I'll start off with playing with a bronze deck, and you're just like, ugh, I can't win, it's too hard. Well, now you can go ahead and get level up your cards one more time, and you'll still be in bronze because that was your rating, but you'll have went and spent all this extra money so that you can get yourself out of bronze and into silver, and then move yourself higher, and but that's actually a way to get out, right? Like right now, you can't do that. You can't be like, ugh, this bronze is driving me crazy, I'll just move my cards up to max silver level and beat these bronze accounts down and get up to silver. No. Even if I did that, even if I spent that extra money, because we have those level caps, I have to learn how to beat these bronze accounts with the same level cards they have. And I'm not in our league. There shouldn't be a lot of bots down there. but there could be a couple, or there's just a lot of seasoned bronze players who are, playing professionally to get those bronze leaderboard rewards. And if those end, then those guys won't be there anymore. They'll be up in silver. I mean,
Or
it's
out
a
of the
much better system in my mind.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, and shout out to Aftersound. I hadn't even considered some of the potential implications for what this could mean for the card market. But things like Lux Vega, things like Waka, all of a sudden they become your ticket out of something like bronze or novice. If you buy a Lux Vega on a handful of, max water cards, you're gonna zoom right past bronze, silver with cards competing at max level. Um, so yeah, there's definitely some sneaky side effects that could potentially come as we start to see the trickle of the new rank system come into play. Um, Exciting stuff, man. Yeah, I'm super pumped for that. I think more than a lot of the other stuff that he talked about on Town Hall and what we talked about yesterday. Um, yeah, the revamp to ranked, long overdue.
Yeah, yeah, and it's such a important thing I think to do to just incentivize everyone to get to the highest rating you can to earn the most. I liked hearing him say that the SPS pool might go back to just being one pool for modern, so that you don't have to worry about the fact that I know Aftersound in his own video says I don't want to get out of gold and go to diamond because I earn more SPS playing in gold 1 than I do in diamond 3. And it seems like Matt's been paying attention to the people in the community who have been saying those things because he understands that our current system is making a player who probably would maybe invest more, maybe would go up to the next thing. And there's multiple examples. Just decide, nah, I'll stay where I am because the earnings are better. I win more. It's easier on me. It's almost like you're not quite exploiting the system, but maybe you are a little bit, like not in a bad way. You're just doing it in a way that the system allows. Like if you just stay in gold because you can win 80% of the time and you get
Oh,
more
no,
rewards than
definitely
you
not.
could in time in three,
Definitely
then
not easier. Like competing in the top of each league, it's definitely way more difficult than competing at the bottom of the next league. Trust me on that.
well, it depends. I mean, if that's your niche, like you like gold because you understand it, like you know what cards have what abilities there, you're fully
Oh, but
comfortable.
Diamond and Champion have the same maximums, first of all. And
Yeah,
second of
that's
all,
why I
when
didn't
you
compare Diamond to Champion.
when you when
As
you're on
much.
top when you're on top of the league, you're very often matched with the higher league. Like I play champion players from the Champions League way way too often. So especially like with not enough liquidity, you and usually they're there because they are maxed almost all the way, and I'm not. So yeah, I don't play it really the diamond and champion is really very tough. Like it's the same limits, so it's kind of different
Yeah,
than progressing from
Diamond and
different.
Champion never makes complete sense when you look at it until you
Yeah.
have a much larger player base fighting to be at the top. Because then you won't have to fight Diamond against Champ very often. Because trust me, I don't want to fight a Diamond player when I play. I know Bojangles doesn't want to. I don't want to risk 40 rating points to get three.
Yeah, because we're dangerous.
We're dangerous.
We're
Yeah,
dangerous.
that's right, baby. I mean, all of that goes out the window when leaderboards are gone, right? And these uh solid league. It's a much more fluid system from novice to champ than having these big walls between leagues. And if there's only one leaderboard, and it takes place, of course, at the top of the ranking, um, yeah, it makes sense. So,
Yeah,
Bebe, we were talking a little bit about it off air. This is obviously going to incentivize you. Are you going to, uh, you're no longer going to be hindered by something like your cards not being maxed for champ. Um, are you going to be incentivized to start, stockpiling a little bit more SPS to therefore earn those bigger rewards?
Well, I'm that's what I'm doing all the time. Like I haven't sold single SPS. I mean, aside from the SPS that I converted for the, I mean, I spent for the Rift Watchers and for the Chaos pre-sale. Aside from that, I haven't sold a single SPS. I'm accumulating, so yeah, it will be slow grind. I'm not going to just go and buy. I'm just counting on. I think I'm earning a pretty decent amount, and at some point, I do have enough to be at around 10x in Champion 3. Uh, but it's a steep curve for Champion 2 and Champion 1, but let's see first even if I can even make it there. So
Yeah,
it's
it'll be interesting to see if this change, like something that maybe isn't as noticeable as some extra demand on staking of SPS. Because now, if you're a pretty good player who is hanging out in silver, but all of a sudden you're getting pushed up to gold, and your SPS stack isn't big enough, does the rental market maybe become a little bit more? I mean, given it's been at like 6 and 7% recently but not for renting out big amounts, so it's kind of misleading. Somebody will pay you 8% on renting 800 SPS. It's still a pretty small payment. Um,
I feel like I started hearing you very low. Like, did you change anything? Like, Django's, do you hear
oh,
him? Is it on my end?
I don't know. Let me double
Yeah,
check. Did my mic change? I'll double
no,
check.
there you're good again.
Oh,
I think you
okay.
were just leaning too far from the mic to pick you up
Oh
Oh,
fully.
yeah, I was probably just leaning back a little bit too much. Sorry, but yeah, the idea that players will, if players see that their natural skill level with their current card bases can outpace their current SPS stake, they're going to maybe be finally incentivized to increase that stack. I mean, the whole thing with an more open league is that it incentivizes everyone at all times to reach a point where it's like, well, this is as good as I can do with what I got. I need to get more. Whether it's more SPS because you're like, wow, I can't believe I was able to get into gold, level with these cards. I could be earning massive, I'm earning only 8x and I'm getting 20 SPS a win or something. I need to be, I need to up that because I could be getting 30 or 40. I don't know if the numbers would be that drastic at the top, but it really depends how many people are up near the
but
top.
that
So,
that beckons the question: what happened with new players when they come? Like, because there'll be
oh,
a lot of SPS scooping at the top because obviously you'll be making way more whatever points was it daily points or whatever it was that the SPS is based off. So a lot of big chunk from the whole SPS um, stockpile will be taken from the players up top. So there'll be very little left for the people at the bottom, and that might be a problem.
well, it's relatively normal in crypto play to earn to say you have to do some investment to earn. Um, Nowadays, there's not really many free to earn anything that survives, but
But it's not some because
they
you know
do
this
get a free delegation of SPS now. We passed that
100
and put it in
FPS,
place.
100 FPS.
It's isn't it 1,000?
No, it's
That's a
100,
lot
but
for bronze for
It's a
that
hundred.
first month. Is it
but
100 or a
it
thousand?
is a lot now. It is a lot now. But if people on top of having like millions of SPS and are getting big chunk from the whole pool, then how much will be left for the
Oh,
people
but
in
it
bronze?
has diminishing returns as you get to the top. You can only get so many times X. It doesn't go up forever.
Well, yeah, but I mean the that limit is like 400,000 or 500 or like whatever, maybe even a million. But whatever it is, I'm just saying like because the points, the reward points people are getting are way, 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 way more than what they are in bronze. They'll be getting way, 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 way more SPS, and I don't think the curve, because the curve rising leagues money wise is very steep. Like from bronze to silver and then to gold to like from diamond to champion it doubles. Just the cost of the cards.
Well, they have the same level cap in those two leagues, but like what you can play with to be in that league might be more expensive, yes, but that's just it. To me, that's just normal things in a play to earn ecosystem. I mean, our game is pay to win. No one can really argue that it's not. I mean, if you want to have the best cards and you want to win at a high percentage, you have to pay to get them.
Okay.
I mean, there's a little bit of play to win in the soulbound cards, right? If you haven't put in the time, you won't have those. That's, I think, more of a detriment to the new player experience than the problem of, you know, the guys at the top going to be making a little bit more
A
because they
little
have
bit.
big
No,
SPS stakes.
we're not talking about a little bit. But yeah, I'm just thinking if they're making like peanuts of peanuts at bronze, it will be how incentivizing it will be for them to actually try to even move up. If they're like, yeah, I'm making 0.2 cents per win. Why would I want to spend $100 to go higher so I can win 0.5 cents per win? You know what I mean? It's like the whole incentive won't really be there to keep them and to keep them interested and motivated to climb the ranks. They should be getting something so they can think of, oh, I'm getting now like 50 cents, and maybe if I put $100 more, I'll be getting like 75 cents. Like it's different, you know what I mean? It's just I don't know.
In our history, and Matt brought this up, and Viruses too, when we wore one pool, the problem wasn't that the champion players were getting too much. It was that the bronze accounts were getting too much. Because there were so many of them playing the game that they were pulling in more rewards. So I don't think...
Well, we cannot do that now because there is a
I know
oh
there's no bots allowed in
no
theory,
no
but I mean,
I'm talking
I
about
don't think
the
I don't think there's enough players to where the people at the bottom would be making peanuts in the new
yeah, and I
system.
was
I
talking
just don't.
about that you have a limited amount of battles per day, but yeah, obviously at bronze level it's way cheaper to buy energy than at higher levels, so they
Yeah,
can definitely
but now
focus
you
more.
can't. But in the new system, you can't just chill in bronze buying cheap
Yeah,
energy, right?
yeah,
They're gonna force you up, force you out. And sorry,
yeah.
but Jingles, this always happens when I can't. I talk over Tails too because of this, so I want to give you a chance to talk for a bit because
No,
we
it's all
can't
good.
see
I'm
you.
here as I'm a contributor. I'm just listening. I'll chime in.
Yeah, chime in.
But yeah, I mean, looking at I've got the Splex reward pools pulled up now, and even to this day, bronze at the top of bronze, you're still earning really close to a half SPS, and it takes you to get almost halfway through silver before it makes sense to jump to silver. So it's 0.438 at the top of bronze, 0.461 at the, kind of almost middle point of silver, which is just
Well,
is crazy.
when I was playing modern bronze, top of bronze, I was making SPS at battle most
And
but
SPS a battle?
yes,
Yeah, that makes sense because if you're at the top of it, you're at the very top of it, so you're earning like the most you can earn in bronze. Bronze 3 guys are going to be making much less than that, right? And bronze 2 even less.
yeah.
And so the new system's going to work the same way. The thing that's going to change though is, and this is the big thing I think that it shows to me, all of us are going to get pushed up to a point where in theory, unless you're literally one of the best players in the game who also has access to all the cards, you're going to be winning and losing at about a 50-50 clip because your rating is going to keep going up and with the cards that you have, and you're going to keep getting pushed up. There's going to be no more I'm going to chill in bronze or I'm going to chill in silver. No, I'm going to end up in gold until finally my silver cards start losing consistently to the guys that have gold level cards. And then I'm going to lose for a little bit, and then I'll start to win. Then I'll start to go back
And
up, and I'll
bronze,
hit those level 6 cards, and I'll start to lose, and I'll come back down. And eventually, if I want to get out of that area I'm in, I have to level up my cards, or I got to figure out a way for my silver cards to beat those gold decks. I'm not saying
yeah,
it's impossible,
it
right?
balance
But
itself
you got to
out.
get
Yeah,
even better at playing the game, or you have to invest more into your cards. And that's why it's an exciting system, because right now you have some really good players who are just willing to just chill in a league. You know, they're just like, I'll just be a leaderboard player in bronze. I'll just, and I'll do it on 3 accounts. Or I'll do a leaderboard in silver and in bronze because I understand these, and I'll just run 2 different accounts and I'll leaderboard both of them. And those kind of things, it's not good for us. Those people are not investing more into their cards. That means when they win that DEC, it's probably flowing out of our system. I mean, because if you don't need to buy any more new cards and you win a decent pool, well, what are you going to do with that? I mean, you're going to spend it on something. So it's
By
going
the
to
way,
leave our system.
I was surprised, but a few days ago, I beat Schnapoon in Diamond. He was in Diamond.
I've run into him a few times. I think somebody called him out on maybe it was on Twitter. I actually just ran into him about an hour ago. I think he's got a scholar, not
Oh,
nearly at the same level as
no,
the man
but
himself.
it wasn't, I wasn't making the point that I beat him. I was making the point that we were playing in Diamond. Because for years, he was a silver leaderboard player. For years. But now, it seems like he jumped the ranks. Or his scholar or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if he has a scholar playing for him, then his account has diamond cards if he's up there, right? So,
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
so that means he did at least invest more money into cards. So
And
that's a
last I
good
heard,
sign.
yeah, but last I heard he was considering giving up and leaving. So
Well, I'm looking at his account. It looks like it's all the max stuff is rented.
oh he
Um,
might have sold his account to somebody. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
because one of the things that's always interested me about our market is how thin it is. Um, and this is why I've always and I've harped this a lot of times, and I've taken some crap from it back when I used to say like I don't like the people who just stay in silver. I don't like the people who just stay in bronze. I want you to be incentivized and want to grow your account to come and fight with me in champion. If you're the best player in silver, then come be the best player in champion. Why are you hiding down there? Because that means you're not reinvesting your winnings into the game. If you're posting about the game, you're taking those hive rewards, you're taking all of that money that you make as part of our ecosystem somewhere else. And but I can't argue that they shouldn't do that, because that's the way the system is set up. Because even look at just this one silly card. If there's only 410 of these on the market,
That's
if
one max
two,
copy.
if that's one max copy, or like maybe 2 level 8s. So if 2 people joined this game that decided they wanted to have this card at a competitive level, and look at this card right now, there's 17 of them. I mean, there was twice when I was leveling up my cards, because I did bring in. I made a good move. I had Ethereum was at 2,400. I bought $1,000 worth of DEC with a little bit less than, with like a fourth of an Ethereum that I had. I brought it into the game when it was official Wagons were coming out, and on Saturday I went buy crazy, and I maxed out all my legendaries, all my rares, all the epics except for 2, because I couldn't justify paying $4 a card when packs were under $4.
And they're
Because
not really epics are like probably the most the crappiest cards in this set. In my
and I'll show you the ones that I didn't max out yet. I gotta scroll
Also,
down a
you
little.
have almost maxed Rebellion deck, the guy that
Well,
was
and I
going
don't
to
have the
buy.
commons, and then the 2
So
that I didn't buy are this guy right here, and he's actually come down to 288 now, so maybe I'll start picking him up. And then my Fellblade's at 5, but every time I see this price and I go, I could buy a pack or a Fellblade, I'm buying a pack and staking the pack into the
the,
conflict.
the guy that was
Because
not
the
going
packs
to
on
buy
Hive
his
Engine
deck
are under
card.
374. I mean, is that wrong? Should I be buying Fellblade?
yeah, you're being spoken over deliberately there,
It's
baby.
okay. I mean, people that needed to hear
Sorry.
it heard it. It's okay.
No,
I,
Steve, I think you're sleeping on the Redworm Dragon, man. That's one of my favorite cards out of the set.
With the
Uh,
stun.
oh well, I have it
Yeah.
at level
with
4, and I still use it. And for the rule sets that it's good in, it's still good at level 4 because it still has its immunity and it still flies.
does it have the stun at level 4?
Oh, let me double check.
Because that card gets really fast. I
Okay,
think it
no.
gets
So maybe
Yeah.
yeah.
well, now that he's come down, because he was like 388 as well.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe
get
maybe
stun
at
as well. Yeah.
288, I'll go ahead and pick up the 12 I need to get the stun. But a lot of the times, I just use him in those poison earthquake matches that seem to be coming up quite frequently, where nobody flies and you just need a flying immunity monster. Is just like, oh, cool, I'll put that in the back and it'll just out survive your team.
I imagine if that one also stuns every now and then.
Yeah, but now that we started talking about levels a little bit, we can go. I don't know any other way to get to this, so that's the way I'm going to go. To conflicts and how they
That's
seem
the
to
only
have
way.
been an absolute success. I think Matt dropped the numbers on your stream, Bajangles. Over 50,000 packs were bought in just 3 days going into
Mm-hmm.
conflicts. I FOMO'd. A lot of people said they FOMO'd and they leveled up their cards. So as you can see, all of these are almost max level on this page now. Except for my commons, because I'm starting to buy these, and I figure eventually I'll open them, and that's when I'll start to get my next big batch of commons. But I did push them all up to like level 8, and some of them, the cheaper ones, to level 9. So
Yeah.
and the most annoying thing though is I still only have 296 contribution points. So I'll throw a little bit of an interesting question at you guys. I'm staking a almost max level set. I'm staking 25 packs. I'm staking some extra like level 6 and 7 gold monsters. I
I
still
feel
don't
for
have
the
enough
answer.
points to guarantee myself 11 rages.
I feel for the answer I have
Is
put on
this
my account.
is the ask on this a little too high?
Well,
I don't know. I feel like a max set should qualify for a max of the first airdrop at least. Uh,
well,
yeah.
I know for with gold deck, I'll be getting more than the gold amount.
Yeah, because we did
mm,
the math. I brought this up on the Monster Magic show when Neil and and his co-hosts were talking. And if you stake just one max set, you wouldn't be guaranteed. Now, in theory, you just need to get a little lucky to get 11 because you're guaranteed 10. I think is or 9 or something. But you're gonna fall. But if you don't get any luck, if you're one of those guys who presses that button and you get your minimum, you'll end up with 10, and you'll still have to go to the market
well,
to buy
okay.
more.
So if you stake a max set and you're getting a minimum of 10 guarantees, that means you've got well in excess of 2,000 overall chances, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have over 2,000 chances, and I think I'm going to end up with over 1,900 chances, assuming I don't change any of this. So, will I not at least get 11? I probably will, but I'm not guaranteed 11. And the more
Um,
question here is it healthy that the system is asking us to stake more than a full set when Matt has said his goal is for us not to buy more than we need? Because I am having to buy more than I need. If I want to get max cards from the airdrops, the way the system's currently designed, I'm going to have to buy more than I need. And then when the airdrops are over, I'm going to have more than I needed and I'm going to have stuff to dump.
Well, that's just for guarantees, though, right? I mean, you
Yes.
have to assume that you're in 2,000 plus chances. Hopefully you snag at least a card.
and
Yeah,
and the
but I
guarantees
mean,
the
I'm ranked
guarantees were introduced.
112, so
The guaranteed
I'm not
the
that
guarantees
high.
the guarantees were introduced even later. They were not planning to have guarantees at all. So it will be like
Yeah.
a competition. Whoever can get the most uh, contribution in the conflict. So it was supposed to be like a battle, and it's good that they did implement the minimums. I mean the guarantee. So at least now we get. And I'm surprised that see I'm at gold ish, almost max gold, and yeah, all my legendaries are max, but the rest is around gold level. Uh, I get like 230,000, like not that far from what you're getting.
Yeah, and that's because
Mm.
there's not that much of a increase on most of these. Um,
Yeah, I'm thinking probably that legendaries anyways being the most contributing to the amount.
And Virus does make a good point. I'm not a gold foil player. I never have been. I don't plan to be. It just increases the entire price point of the decks to a point I'm not comfortable paying. So if I had two gold foiled legendaries staked in here somewhere, given in my one like 1,200 packs that I've opened, I only pulled one. But if I had two of those staked, I would be able to theoretically have this up over 300,000 and be at that number that you need to be. So,
Yeah.
Well, so what, Steve? Are you making the argument that there's too much pressure to purchase superfluous BCX and packs, or do you feel like having the minimum guarantee being every 200 chances, which sets you up to damn near pretty much pull a max copy, guaranteed, and then having the difference go to chance? Do you feel like that's fair?
I feel like it's starting off a little high, or maybe these cards are just be a little bit less because this is the first one. It's Rage. It's not any of the legendary summoners yet. And you're already needing to either be somebody that's made a pretty large investment into gold foils or somebody that has bought quite a lot of extra packs and staked them. As Virus Comment pointed out, I'd need to get myself like 277 extra packs. I already have maxed out legendaries, maxed out rares, all the epics except for two maxed out, and my commons at like level 8 and 9. To make up for the fact that my commons are at level 8 and 9, I looked at the level, how much power they provided, and I went and bought level 6 and 7 gold foils of commons and staked those on some extra wagons. So I kind of made up for, that missing BCX worth of points. I'm pretty much at what a max set would get you, I think, around like 269 when you do the math. I might be a little bit under or a little bit over, I forget. But I did my best to mimic, like, what would I have if I had a max level? Because Matt has said the goal with Rift Watchers is to not really have a lot of us buy a lot more than we need, because that creates extra in the market and it creates the situation where Chaos Legion has way too many. Yet it does feel like if this is just going to continue to get harder, he is incentivizing us to buy a little bit more than we need, or pushing you to have to decide you're going to play some gold foil in your deck, which I guess isn't the end of the world. It actually finally gives me a real reason to go, okay, let me go ahead and level up this card in gold foil instead of regular. But, if a full max regular foil set isn't going to let you get even a max copy of the first card automatically, then you are being told, at least by the way the system works, you need to go get more than a full max level set.
Well, only if you want to get it for free.
Well, I mean, who doesn't? If you're playing with a full max level set, you want your rage to be max level.
Well, I mean, even if we first of all, we didn't agree. Like, we had discussion about it that maybe it's not the best idea to have it at max level, but like, we take that aside. It's like, it's a free airdrop. Like, I understand that you're talking from the point of you want to max everything whatever you can, like from the maximalist standpoint. But at the end of the day, these are free cards that the team is dropping on you for having purchased whatever you have. So you can be okay with what you're getting, or you can spend extra money to get more, or you can just spend the extra money to get for whatever you lack, if you do lack some. So you have the option, you have the choice. You're not forced to buy more cards.
I didn't say I was forced. I'm saying I'm being incentivized.
Well, is it incentivized though? Because how much you're going to spend on those cards, and how much will be
made the very great point to me when I didn't go big into the packs, that was the time at when I was getting the only time I'd be getting discounted packs because I was getting free cards if I bought them.
How did that
This is
work
the
for you?
same scenario right now.
No, it's
Going
not.
into the first conflict is the only time you can get a discount of 9 airdrops for buying cards and staking them. After that,
Sure.
every day your discount goes down a little bit because you're earning a little bit less points. So that's why
And
I leveled up so much stuff and put an
and
extra,
every day the
like
price
1,200 into the game.
and every day the price of rage drops down because there are more and more rages that are being opened from players opening packs, which was not the case with the promo cards. And that's what I told you then. It's like if, and we know that you will try to max your set if you're planning to do that anyways, as much as you get from the pre-sale, that much benefit you will get because you're buying something that you'll be buying anyways down the line, as probably I turned out to be right. But my point is, it's the same. It's not the same with the airdrop because those
I think I
airdrop.
was right too. This was much cheaper than buying a lot more packs, even
Well,
paying the prices I
you
paid
were
over the
thinking of
weekend.
you were thinking of not buying packs at all, if you remember in the beginning.
Well, yeah, but I did buy some, but I think ended up playing it relatively good because the market was too thin to buy complete full sets, but buy enough packs to get to like
Well,
gold and then slowly
did you
level
get
them up. It worked
lucky?
out
Yes.
pretty well.
Did you get lucky? Yes, you did. Was it guaranteed? No, it wasn't. Could you have guaranteed yourself a better scenario? For sure. But that's not the point again, because those cards, whatever was done, whatever was there, whatever people took, that's done. And those cards, the airdrop cards, they're going to be in packs. So they're going to be increasing supply of them. So yeah, sure, at the beginning the price could be crazy, but then 1 month down the line it might drop half or whatever it is, but it's not going to hold that much of a price to be something that you're like, oh no, I do have to make the most out of it, in my opinion. And for some people like you, it will be, yeah, I have to make the most out of it. But for others, it will be, okay, I'm getting like 5 BCX. Perfect. I mean, that's 5 free BCX. Maybe I buy one more to make it gold level. Maybe I sell two and keep it at silver level. Whatever it is, those are free stuff that they're getting for what they already have. And it's not, as I said, like it's if you find something cheap on the market, like Gold Force or whatever, you can buy that, and that's taken off the market. Whereas before, you just need to buy packs. Or you have to like, oh, your only chance of getting airdrops was to buy packs. So you were buying packs and packs and packs, and at the end of the day, those packs they had to be consumed somehow, and there was not enough people to consume them. Whereas now, every day there are, well, almost every day, because if we sold 50,000 the last day, probably not every day, but most of the days, packs are being burned as we speak. So it's like the amount of packs available is going rapidly down. So it won't be the same, like nowhere near the same scenario where it was like with the Chaos Legion, because there won't be just the supply for it. And that's because people are not incentivized to buy packs that they're not going to need, in my
But
opinion. In my
you
humble opinion.
can you stake packs to get airdrops?
You can?
So I'm
Are,
incentivized
are
to
you
go
are you
buy
getting enough?
packs.
Are you getting enough? You're
No,
getting a
I'm not
hundred.
getting enough yet.
You're getting 100 per pack.
I mean, well, I admit the 100 per pack, the fact that they lowered to that, I like because it defends what you're saying a little bit more. And yes, these cards are kind of free. I had to buy a complete set to get them for free, so it's more like cash back.
Well,
Um,
whatever it is, but what I'm saying is like it's not the end of the world if you get one less. It's not some it's not something that will cost you a fortune to acquire, and you've already got the 10 BCX for free for something you already purchased that you can use in
yeah, but
game
not
to
free. They're
earn.
not free. It
The airdrops
requires
are
it
free.
Rewards,
requires an
rewards.
investment.
No,
Yeah, and
they have three.
it's not determined that you're only getting 10, right?
No.
There's a whole lot of chances that say that you're getting
Yeah,
11.
but I
Yeah,
was
like
saying
I did
if
get
that was the
13 mana
case.
Roths when I was supposed to get 8.
Yeah,
So I know
but
that
that was
it can
different.
hit the other way.
Actually, anybody knows for sure how it works. Like this 4,000 cars that we are fighting over is going to be proportionally as the amount of chances, or how the hell is going to be like
I
randomly
So
4,000?
4,000 is the low end. I don't think they've determined how many BCX are actually going to be printed and airdropped yet.
Then
Because
why
every
did
day people are updating their mage wagons and adjusting their contribution points. It'll be determined, I think, on the last day
but then
this
why did they put
conflict.
that number 4,000? Like what does that number mean even?
well, it's how many they're expecting to give out in the chances. But because they've
That
included
never changed.
minimums, they can go over it now. So if
Oh, no,
everybody,
no. The
it,
minimums are not even counted. The 4,000 will be just the chances. The minimums are not counted at all. But what I'm saying is,
I've heard
no,
somebody explain it
no,
differently.
no, I'm sure about that. The minimum chances are not included in the 4,000 that are going to be given to the people that are aside that are having chances. But my point
I
is,
thought that too, and then I heard somebody say it was the other way. So now I'm a little
no,
confused.
I'm telling you it's not. That's
Do you
how it
know,
is.
Bajangles, is the minimums extra on top of the 4,000 every single one of them, or is it only if I don't hit my minimums, then 3 extras are created? Because my I only got 7, so 3 extra get created to create my 10, and then
I,
now the number's 4,003. Because if it's the way you're
I
saying,
was
Baby
under the
Omega,
impression that 4,000 was the minimum BCX and included guaranteed copies.
No,
Uh,
no.
uh,
I mean, it was mentioned in the town hall, and I think twice, Matt, like when they were talking with Nate, I think twice they said that those 4,000 are beside the ones that are already guaranteed. They'll be the ones that you have a chance to win besides your guaranteed. The guaranteed you have them. Every 200 it was like the airdrop, like the previous airdrops. If you hit a certain amount of packs, you're guaranteed. The rest is chances. But the amount of cars given away was never limited. Was never said like, okay, we're going to give only 5,000 liras. So it, whatever how it's ever is spread. But I'm getting under the impression now that it's not really a chance, as in it's not really a roll of the dice. Is how much of the total percentage of points you owe. Like if you owe 1% of the points, you get 1% of the 4,000. You know what I mean? So that's what I don't know how it works. Like, is it really a chance, or is it just like a contribution percentage of the whole pool that
I,
determines how many
I
cars you
don't
get?
think it's the way you're thinking. Because the way that you're thinking, let me just break it down how it would end up working for me if you were right in what you're saying. I would get my guaranteed 9, because I'm going to end up with like 1,900 chances, so I only get 9 guaranteed actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to get to 20,000, so I get 10, but I don't know if I'm going to get there because I have to push this up. And I'll scroll down a little. I got $22 left, so I got to find more money somewhere. But the I have to not need more energy this season, Bajangles. I don't have the money. No, but the way you're saying it, Baby Omega, it would insinuate that me, who has a guaranteed 9, will go and hit my claim button, and I'll get 9 guaranteed, and then on top of
Yes.
my 9
Yes.
guaranteed, I will get some percentage of the 4,000 that were
Yes.
created and set aside.
Depending
Now,
on your position on the leaderboard, like depending on your contribution towards comparing with the whole amount, the total amount of
yeah.
points that are
See,
So
and
Virus just
Virus
posted.
is
Yeah.
saying it the way that I'm understanding it.
No, but that's what I said.
No. Because what he's saying, to me, it's going to work like this. I'm going to go to do my claim. I'm supposed to get 9, right? All my chances are going to go fight against the other people's chances, and I end up getting 6 because I'm just an unlucky person lately with Rebellion. I'm just going to say, except for Manaroth's claim. Everything else has been pretty bad luck for me. But when it comes to opens. So but they go, ooh, you only got 6 of the 4,000, Steve, but you guaranteed yourself 9. So we're going to create 3 extra, bringing our pool up to 4,003 and give them to you because you put enough into this that we're going to give you at least 9. And then a few other people are going to have bad luck and they're going to hit under and they're going to get filled up. So at the end of the day, we might end up with like 4,208 or something. Not that I'm going to get 9 and then also get another claim against the 4,000 and pull in another 5 or 6 and I'm going to end up with like 14 or 18. Because that would be, if it was working like that, they'd be creating a ton of extra ones. Because if you look at the leaderboard, I mean, these guys are going to guarantee themselves like 30. So we'd be having, they're going to get 30 plus like 100 of the 4,000 because of how much points they have compared to everybody else. I mean, I don't
Well,
think
it's not
that's
compared
the
to
way.
everybody else. It's percentage of the whole pool of points.
Yeah, and see, this one, it only says there's 4,000 available. It doesn't say 4,000 plus guaranteed copies. That, at least that's how I'm reading, especially with what Virus said. The final number will be 4,000 plus outstanding guaranteed. So it's like, basically, at the end of this, if my share of points, and you do the percentage math, would only get me 8 of these 4,000, I'll get 1 more. And that would mean that theoretically every person under me would probably be getting the short end of the stick too, on their guaranteed of, on their 4,000 and need extras created for them. The more points that are created and the more cards that are staked into this, the actual more extras that we will probably end up having to get, because more of us will get, even less cards than we feel like we should have, because the amount of points put into this will be so big that our percentages will be even smaller than we'd expect. Because to be honest, I'm a little surprised I'm at 112 considering what I have staked. I thought I would be a little higher on the list. I'm actually impressed that there's 111 people who have even more stake than me. That's a lot of stuff, because like I said, I pretty much have a max full set, so there must be people who are staking max full sets plus hundreds of cards or multiple extra gold.
A lot of gold
cards.
Yeah, I mean that's why the gold foes disappeared from the market rapidly. But okay.
And Tails, I will give you a shout out for agreeing with me a little bit that this system still does kind of incentivize you to get more than you need and to get more extra stuff, because when you buy that extra stuff, you end up getting more airdrops, which discounts that stuff and makes it easier for you to dump at a profit later on.
Okay, but when you were buying your assets, what were you buying?
Well, I was buying stuff I needed, but obviously that's not what everybody did, because I'm 112th. If everybody did what I did, I'd probably be like 50th or a lot closer and not getting blown out.
Probably a lot of people are not ignoring the gold foils.
Maybe.
And that's a big difference. In CP wise, that's a big difference.
I don't know. I still feel like, because I didn't completely ignore the gold foils. I have some back in here, and they're not terrible levels. See, they're getting 1,000 points, the same as these cards.
Oh, you said that those were the missing CP from the common ones, right?
Yeah, the ones that I didn't max out. But my point is, I do have some of them. I have some extra points, and I have some gold cards. I didn't buy any gold legendaries specifically for staking, and maybe that's where I missed out on this.
I mean,
but that's still insinuating
52,000. I think 52,000 something is one. max gold foil legendary.
Is it 52,000 points?
Something like that. When like somebody was, I think
Let's go take a
Azucon or
look.
somebody was um, making a screenshot like of their wagons, and it was like I think it was 52,000 something.
I mean, um, no, it's not their power, right? What is
You
it?
just
It's
go to stats. It is
That's what
power.
it is. It is power, right?
Yeah,
There it is. Yeah,
50
if you
to
have a
50,
max level
50.
one,
Yeah,
it's 52,000.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's like
But,
a
but that five of them, five max, then they're already at your CP.
I
Just one
mean,
day,
but
wagon. Just one.
there most of these, like some of these aren't even, you can't even get a max level
Well, not now,
on a lot
not
of
now, but
them.
they were some of them were way below 100 at some point, and people probably were savvy and they were like, "Oh, I'm scooping this up."
Perhaps. I don't think that many people buy gold foils. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't run into them on the battlefield that often unless I run into a Zircon or Gold Matters or like maybe one other account. So I don't know. Maybe they're just holding them or they're renting them out. And birds, bees, and trees. I'm sorry you're so hungry. You should probably eat something.
Mm, Go eat some birds
and
and some honey.
and Virus says, he gets it. So if I'm guaranteed 11 and my entries would only score 10, then I'll just get 11 BCX. I thought it would be 21. Yeah, see, but I don't think it is. And maybe we do need some explanation. I mean, how do you understand it, Bajangles?
Yeah, so I was actually just looking through MapChat because I remembered Cryptomancer kind of diving into it. I couldn't find the specific message that my mind was making reference to, but in the conflict original peaked article, for the first conflict, 4,000 copies of Rage will be airdropped to participating players based on their total reward chances when the conflict ends. Additionally, every 200 reward chances will earn a guarantee a copy of the card, which may or will push the total number of copies beyond 4,000.
That's what I was understanding as well. But I mean,
Yeah, but to me, it only pushes it above if your contribution doesn't get you to your minimum.
it says in addition. Did
It
you
does
did
say
you hear
additionally.
just what Django's read? Can you read it again, Django's?
For the first conflict, 4,000 copies of Rage will be airdropped to participating players based on total reward chances when the conflict ends. Additionally, every 200 reward chances earned will guarantee a copy of the card, which may
Addition.
push the total number of copies beyond 4,000. Yeah, so I saw some and I was on that Monster Mav show with you the other day with Neil and I think it was Vedev, and they were trying to calculate out what is the expected, because at that point Cryptomancer had put out the total amount of CP that was earning contribution points on Mage Wagons, and I think the calculation came around to in excess of 6,000. It's like 6,300, 6,400, something like that. Total BCX is what Neil and Vedev had kind of number crunched out based on the CP numbers that Cryptomancer had provided a couple days earlier. Um, so yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
additional.
I still read it as even when you read that to me, I take it as it saying like you're going to get airdropped this, but additionally, the cards are guaranteed at this level. So if you don't get there, we'll push you to there. But maybe you guys are right, and I should be really happy because I'm not going to get 9. I'm going to get 9 plus whatever my share of 4,000 I get, given that might only be
But it
like
also
5.
whatever
But
Jason Jenkins is saying is also makes sense because when I remember when it was the burn, you remember when the big burn was happening, the DC
It's
burn?
going to operate the same way. I think you're
Yeah,
right, baby.
you are getting a lottery tickets and it just you're playing the lottery and the wins are limited, but you might get.
It's your percentage chance in the entire pool of lotteries, right?
Yeah, so you might get 0, you might
but
get 100.
but how does that work if we get to claim?
What do you mean
Well,
if we
Right?
get
probably
to claim?
The sooner, the
I mean, is
sooner.
it worked out ahead of time then? Because they did the burn airdrops ahead of time, and you revealed your rewards, right? You didn't actually like play the lotto when you pressed the button.
Well, probably it's predetermined. Yeah, it could be predetermined.
Because otherwise, you couldn't give out only 4,000 unless you predetermined. Okay, Baby Omega
No,
got 10%. He gets 400. Good job, Baby Omega. And Steve only got 5% of the pool, so he gets 200. And Bajangles, well, he got 98% of the pool, or whatever was left, 85. So he gets the rest. If we can all actually go play the lotto with 15% chance to win, but with 15% of the pool, but that being my
well,
1,900
imagine
chances,
all the
what if I
chances.
what if I won on 700 of my tickets somehow? If it's a
Well,
roll of the dice.
no, but imagine all the chances that you have. You put them in one huge bowl with everybody's name on it, and then you pick up 4,000.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, if they predetermine it that way, fine. But I just haven't. I made it seem like that you're gonna press a claim button, and
Well, when you press the
they're
claim
gonna
button,
give
And
me
then the dice
1,900
gets
chances
tossed.
to win, and the dice gets tossed 1,900 times, and
no,
we'll
that
see how many times I hit.
no. When you
And
when
if
you
I
claim,
don't hit enough, I get extra cards given to me because I earned a minimum of 9.
no, but that doesn't make sense
Isn't that
because
how the
they're not
regular
really
airdrops
chances.
used to work?
It's not really
I,
chance.
I didn't get 7 guaranteed plus get X amount of rolling the dice to get more. I clicked that button and I normally just got my guaranteed. I very rarely won more in the old airdrop system. I almost
But they
never
but
won
they were
more.
never limited. Neither.
Yeah, but that makes it even more odd that I didn't get more. I mean, if you're saying that your extra cards are guaranteed outside of the actual lottery chances, then like Virus is saying, he might get 21, I might get 18.
You might, if you're lucky, you might get 1,000.
Well, I mean, if I'm 112th in position right now,
Smart ass.
No,
I'd
you'll
get
be
like
having
100 copies of it,
no.
right?
You said you'll be having 1,900 chances, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how many chances I'm gonna have. But
Yeah,
if you
you can easily
assume,
get
well, okay, wait,
1,000 copies.
how many people are in this?
Steve, pull up
No, we have to
the
figure
pull
out
up
how
the
many
Peak
total
D article,
points,
dude.
right?
Pull up the Peak D article
You want to drop
from
me the link
Splinterlands.
really quick, if you're looking at it?
Yeah.
Let me go to the chat function, just so I can get to it faster.
Because the burning event, the lottery was not. It was not like when you press claim and then you draw. It was it was drawn and then slapped a claim button. Whatever
Well,
it was assigned to you, you get it when you press claim.
I hope we can get some clarification because it's a big
But
difference
that's why I raised the
between
question
those
because
two
I wasn't
things.
sure how I going to make sure
Oh, did you
that
send it to me on
only
Discord,
four
maybe,
thousand.
baby? I mean, Bojangles. Let me
How they're
see.
going to make sure 4,000.
Oh no, there
But
it is.
No, I sent it
but
in the Zoom chat.
No, that's where I was looking, but I see it now.
what Jason Jenkins says also
Okay.
makes a lot of sense that it's just all the chances are thrown in one big ball and 4,000 are taken out and they're distributed, and then you just when you press the claim button, you just see the results. You're not really doing the draw at that time, which will be fair for everybody because otherwise the people who are claiming earlier, they might have higher chance because maybe at the time where the last people are pressing the claim button, maybe all 4,000 are gone. So they have zero chance of winning anything.
Did you want me to read this out loud? Sorry.
If it's not the same that Django read twice, sure.
So, I mean, to determine your total
No,
contribution,
this is
multiply,
the support articles. What? Yeah.
right, by hour by the numbers left in the conflict. And so basically it's going over, it's like your contribution points times hours left divided by 100,000 equals your chances. That's where
Yeah.
I get 1,900 or something chances,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what this is telling me. It's saying for every 200 chances, one card is guaranteed. So if I end up with 1,900, round down to 1,800, I'm guaranteed 9. I understand that. The leaderboard will help assess how competitive you are in a particular conflict and your chances of getting airdrops relative to other players. After adding additional cards, you may view your collection and power 100 competition. This goes over some of the easy stuff. Okay, they should have done an example with a much bigger contribution.
Well, but still an example. Let's see what they're saying.
So, to calculate so you multiply by 24, 30 days by 720 hours. So you do the 325 by 720 hours gives you 241 points, 200,000. So this person only gets 2 chances. The problem in their example, the person didn't earn a guarantee. So they don't really explain. He gets 2 chances to win.
Yeah.
The thing that's weird about this is that he just gets 2 chances to win. That insinuates to me he gets to roll the dice 2 times and see if he hits a 98, right? Because what is it, a 2% chance to get the card?
No, but it will be he has only 2 tickets in the bowl.
Well, where does it talk about the bowl?
Okay, so I sent you the peaked article. Pull that up. It's the bottom link there. And if you scroll to the bottom, there's a section, show me the numbers. And it gives a similar example with staking 100 packs and rebellion cards totaling 90k CP, which equals 100k contribution per hour.
Okay, so you have 100 contribution per hour or 2.4 million per day. Since each 100 contribution equals 1 rewards chance, you accumulate 24 rewards chances per day. Each conflict lasts 30 days, so by the end you'll have 700 chances. So, to earn a copy of the airdrop card. Your actual odds will depend on the total number of rewards chances of all players participating in the conflict. For the
That's
first
what Bebe
conflict,
is saying.
Yeah. For the first conflict, every 200 chances guarantees you a copy of the airdrop card. So even if you don't earn them with your rewards chances, you'll still be able to redeem at least 3 copies. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If your 720 chances still doesn't get you your cards, you can still claim them. It's not saying that you get them additional to what your chances earned you.
But what
Each copy you
Django
redeem
was
has a
reading
2% chance of being gold foil.
Well,
and
if you scroll up just a scotch there, Steve, and you'll see exactly what I was reading.
Okay.
That first paragraph for the first conflict.
4,000 copies of Reach will be airdrops to participating players based on their total rewards chances when the conflict ends. Additionally, every 200 chances will earn you a guaranteed copy of the card, which may push the total numbers be above 2,000. Note that the number of cards available at this threshold for the minimum guarantee may change in the future for conflicts. Okay, but yeah, this still reads to me how I'm explaining it, and I think these sentences down here back me up. It's saying that they're going to drop 4,000 cards to people based on your contribution points compared to other people. But additionally, if you've earned at least 200, you will get a card. So if you're somebody who stakes enough to get 200 points, like they do in this example, enough to get 3, but the whales who have whaled out and just went wild pushes this down to such a low percentage, it doesn't even earn a card. Well, we're going to give you 3 anyways. And that's what pushes us up past 4,000.
Yeah, it's still not clear because it says you will still be able to redeem at least 3 copies.
Yes, but it says
that's correct. But it's additional
chances,
to the 4K, right?
No, but it says
so the 4K is the baseline.
Right here it says so even if you don't earn them with your rewards chances, you'll still be able to get 3. So it's saying, okay, you're going to put your 720 over, and just to simplify this, let's assume we're only getting 1,000 for the example, because it makes the math a little simpler than 4,000.
It's not settings like it can be
But
taken either.
but they're saying if you put your 720% into the pot, and to get 3 copies, your 720 point chances would have to represent 3% of the total chances to get 3 of the 1,000 cards. But you put your 720 into the pot, and it's only 2% of the pot. So you're only going to get 2 cards. Well, in that case, we're still going to let you claim 3 because you earned enough points for us to guarantee you we'll give you 3 cards. Now,
So in this example, you're essentially getting 3 BCX plus 720 chances at additional BCX.
No, that's not how I read it. I mean, you'd have to have somebody from the team, but I'm reading this as if I put 720 chances into the pot and it's 5% of the pot, and in my example of 1,000 cards, I get 5. That's it. I got my 5. 5 is more than what I was guaranteed. Good for me. I won 2 extra cards than my chances were supposed to guarantee me. Awesome. Similar to when I claimed my Manaroth, I was supposed to get 8. I got 13. Awesome for me. But if you don't, if you lose that roll, or the whales have whaled you out to the point to where even somebody who did 100,000 points is not even earning 3% of the pool.
Maybe you're right, but I think
they
still
get
it's a
moved
question.
up to 3.
I think still it's question that should be asked at town hall just to make sure, because
Just because when Matt described it,
it's
especially what the guarantees are there, because I remember you pushed him on this a little bit in your show, Bajangles, it's to avoid somebody being completely screwed. It's not to massively reward us extra cards. It's in there for the guys that put in the effort.
Sure, but I mean, you're also thinking about
points, and because other people wailed out so hard, 720 points is only 1% of the pool, and they get only 1 card. Well, now we'll go ahead and give you 2 more, because we've set the 200 as the number where we'll guarantee you that you get a card. It actually makes it so that a smaller player can even play this game. Because normally a game like this, where it's how many points I earn compared to how many points other people are able to earn, the little guys don't have a chance. If you didn't have these minimums in it, a lot of people wouldn't even want to play.
Well, you think about the Big Burn event. I didn't contribute a whole lot, and therefore I struck out entirely, and I was left holding nothing at the end of it. But Virus just posted a message that I was looking for from Cryptomancer. He found it. So from Cryptomancer in Mav chat, the way it will work is that the 4,000 cards will be distributed, then a second pass will be done, checking how many cards each player has won.
Yeah.
For each player that got less than the guaranteed minimum in their distribution, they will get the additional cards up to the minimum.
So you're right, Steve.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry to burst people's bubble if they thought they were getting 20 or 30 of these cards.
You don't need to be sorry. I mean, I'm glad that we figured it out, because it was genuinely, I was wondering how they're going to make it up to 4,000 when the distribution happens. Like, is it going to be a weighted on how many points you earned, which is going to be a draw, whatever. But I'm glad that it was cleared out, so you don't have to be sorry.
Yeah, and it did. That clears it out perfectly. It isn't a lotto when I go to hit the button. They'll already have decided my winnings, just like they did. You're right, Bajangles. I got the most expensive Nightmare pack I've ever bought in the Burn event. Good 1 million DEC.
Do you keep it?
Nightmare pack. Yeah, I still have it.
Make sure
it's added into my little stack of 200. I have 201.
Maybe one day it will be worth 1 million DEC.
We'll see. But so they'll do the lotto, and it will be based on how many points you get. So to be honest, every single one of us should know exactly how many we're getting when we press that button, because you could go do the math. My 120 chances are gonna against how much CP is in there at the very end. You could look at the leaderboard, you can do the math, and I can see
But then
is
that's
my
not lottery.
share 10 cards? Is my share 11 cards? Is my share 12 cards? Or did Brave Tofu and Zircon and all of them earn so many points that my share is like 3 cards? Then
No,
I'll
but
go,
that
well, I'm going to get 9.
should not be the case if it's lottery.
But it's not lottery. It's based on percentage of ownership. So, but this is what protects somebody like me and you who decided to go into this, and we did invest a decent amount and we got max decks and we went and staked, not being completely iced out of this by people who went and bought all the gold foil cards
But then
and
it's not
bought
even.
a
It's
lot of
not
extra
even-
packs.
There's
It's
nothing even left
protecting
to
us.
chance.
No, there isn't a chance. The theoretical good chance in all of this new system is if you want to whale out like, and this is probably why we have some people. Because to be honest, for me to be 112, I was shocked I'm that low. The reason why these guys are so incentivized to just go absolutely ham in this system is because if he ends up being, 10% of the pool, he's going to get 400 cards. Like, I don't know what percentage he is, but if that's what he ends up at, is 5 or 10% of this pool, he's getting 200 to 400 of these cards guaranteed into his wallet. And that's amazing. And I don't know what his overall chances, I mean, because he's already guaranteed 7 on chances. But if you looked at these reward chances and somebody pulled this out to an Excel really quick, you could just add them all up and put.
Well, there's a
players...
tally at the top of the leaderboard, Steve. There's like 64,000 total chances
Oh
that
yeah,
have been
right
earned
here.
right now.
All right, yeah. So we can just pull up a calculator really quick.
Yeah, it's
So
like 2%.
If he's at 1431, and we divide by 63,883. I think you've already spoiled the answer to my question, but he's at 2%.
There you go.
Times
Yeah.
4,000.
You times that by 4,000, he's getting 89 copies as of today. See, and for me, I have, what did I have? 157 chances. So let's see what I'm on a pace for. If I'm on pace to get more or less than what my guarantee would be. So if we do this by 63889, I'm at 0.002% times
8.
4,000. I'm at 9.8.
Oh,
So
see?
so if I can up my points a little bit, maybe I can guarantee I can earn myself 10. But if other people push themselves even higher than me and outpace me, this number could dip down to where I'd only get 7. But I'm gonna get
The
at
guarantee
least 9.
protects you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that and the more the top guys push us lower guys down, the more that they have to make extra, and the more that'll actually be airdropped because of what they've done.
So
And
the majority will be getting the minimum, the guaranteed minimums.
yeah, most of us will be getting their guaranteed minimum amount we can see, because I'm already down to 9.8, and unless I
That-
change
No, the
something-
gap is gonna continue growing, right?
yeah, because
Brave,
all
Brave
of these,
Tofu is the guy with all those.
yeah,
I
well,
think
because
he
they're
posted.
they're earning more than me per hour, so they're constantly gaining their lead on me. So by
Correct.
the end of this, they're gonna have even more than my chances. And I bet you if I did the math and we can do this in a couple weeks, I bet you I'll be way under 9, like way under 9.
Yeah, this
because-
is day 3, right?
Yeah,
Which
Yeah,
makes
so-
totally worthless for somebody that cannot even make 200 chances to even participate.
yeah. No, you shouldn't participate if you can't get to one minimum. To be
The
honest,
threshold, right?
I mean, now we didn't know that before, right? What if there wasn't a Brave Tofu and a what is this? I don't even know this name, but I should, because he's staking a
Kirsch.
ton. Kirshen.
Kesrin.
I know this name, I know this game, but this one's new for me. Maybe I just haven't been paying enough attention. But like, if these guys didn't go as
From
hard as they
Matt-
did,
From Yaba Matt's guild.
yeah, Yeah, because if you think about it, if I have basically as many points as a max deck and I have 157 things, that means Brave Tufu is doing almost 9, the equivalent of 9 max decks staked in points.
Or one gold deck max. Pretty much 10 times, 10x the CP of
Oh
the
yeah,
gold.
okay. So yeah, so like one full gold. Which I thought Azurcon, maybe his whole deck isn't gold yet, max level. So I don't know. When I play him, it is.
Well,
So
maybe he started later. I know
yeah,
Brave
that's
was
true. That's
already
true. That
when
was
you
funny when Matt said that he had
remember
all of his
remember
cards staked on his land, and he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
remember
he's 3 days
when we were
behind.
on After Sounds video, and he said, "Oh, maintenance is over," and he was checking. He was like, "Oh, Brave Tofu is already coming like for with like 4,000 CP already on his name or whatever it was." So he definitely was forced to jump on it, and maybe FatherCon was a little bit late. Maybe that's all the
Yeah, that could just be what it is. You're right. If with these people right here, it could just be a couple hours with
yeah,
how many
because
points
they're
they're earning.
making thousands and thousands of CP.
Yeah, and so that's where the minimums protect the smaller accounts, but you have to get to the minimums.
Yeah.
If you're not going to get to 200 points, it doesn't look like you'll get a card. Now maybe they'll change it somehow and add some kind of luck roll into it, but from what they've said so far and
Unlike
what we pulled from the chat, that's the way it's going to work. So
Unlikely, because if that's how it starts, that's probably how it's going to go.
yeah,
Maybe
the
they
thing is,
will increase.
it's going to get probably a lot harder to get your minimums because if at the end of this, my contribution should have only guaranteed me like 4 cards, and I get 9, then they kind of messed up because they're going to print a lot extra at the end.
It's
And
not a lot.
the fact that Cryptomancer said that they think they're going to have to print 6,000 of the cards instead of 4 means that they expect a lot of people to be under their minimum and them to have to increase it up to the minimum. So you know they're
Mm.
but Matt also let it go, Bejingles, I think when he was talking with you, that they didn't realize how many packs would be sold when this started, and that this number should have maybe been 4,000, and the next airdrop, because we'll have been pushed more into the card set, the amount of cards should go up. So if Brave Tufu doesn't get any more points, there might be more cards to give out. So then maybe my collection would get me to a point where I'm actually earning more cards than the minimum. But for players like me who don't collect a lot of gold, our game is going to be chasing a perfect number. That's why I really want to get to 2,000 chances, and I'm still going to try to up my cards until I can see that I'm earning enough per hour to get to 2,000 so that I can get 10. But that's because I still have cards I can level up. Like I
In
can get
all
that
honesty,
dragon, I can get a couple other things.
in all honesty, there were 5 extra hours.
Yes, there were.
So that's also
Outside of the 30 days, you mean?
yes.
Yes, there were 30
Yeah.
days, 5 hours if you stake them
So
immediately. And
that's
I staked
also
them. There was actually 5 hours and 5 minutes. When it went live, you had 5 minutes to try to get it in before the first hour ticked.
well,
I didn't go that fast because I didn't want to use the fill all button because I'm not going to lie, up to the last minute of this starting, I was buying and combining cards. Because that night while I was sleeping, people came through and bought some of my stuff. So I woke up to like a couple $100 more in my account. And I went, oh, I got to go get some stuff.
yeah. But so that 5 hours might be a difference in your favor in getting to 200,000.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I didn't do the math like that.
Oh, you did it 12 times 24 times 30, but that's
Well, because
actually
I did
not
it. I
five.
did it times.
It's
When
it's
I
by
did the
7.
math.
It should be by 725.
Yeah, so if I'm at
CP
296
times 725.
145 times 725. Yeah, it's still not
Oh,
there. This has to
well,
be
if
200.
you max out another one of those cards, that might be enough to take you over the top.
Yeah, yeah, or if I buy more packs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back and forth between those, and then also I could maybe level up some of these gold
How
foils that
many
are on the smaller level
how many
that I'm
CP how
staking.
many CP is one pack for the whole
100.
duration?
It's 100.
No, no, for the whole duration.
Oh, for the whole duration?
72,000?
100 times 720.
Yeah, if you did 725, if you staked it at the beginning, you'd get the
So
extra
72,000.
500. So, but yeah, 72,000. At this point, though, if I stake one, I have to multiply it by this amount of hours. Anything
Yeah.
I add. So, and I need to pick up about 100 thousand, or no, what at the end there? I needed like
5 million needed. 5 million
yeah,
CP.
5 million more points. So, I think if I got myself like another like 50 packs and stake them soon, that's close. And the real reason I was going to go with packs over extra cards is because there's a chance I'll want to open the packs later on, because it's always fun to open up like maybe a 2 or 3 or 400 packs once all the airdrops have come out and chase that gold foil summoner card.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good. I can make a stream out of it. It's a little bit of content, and it's kind of just like a fun thing to do. So I don't mind pushing this up as
Oh,
opposed to
you only do
buying
it on
additional cards I don't need.
you only do it on a stream just to get the streamer's luck, not to make content.
Well, hey, the streamer's luck backfired on me when I opened 800 packs and got no gold foils. And the only gold foil I pulled was when I was doing it all by myself, 20 at a time. I finally got one. When this started, I bought another 105 and opened them and didn't get one. And you know what was even funnier? Remember how on our little stream, maybe streamer luck is a thing, but I opened that little 35 and I got like
5 legendaries.
5
7
legendaries? I opened 105 and only got 8 legendaries.
Okay.
It was wild.
Yeah. That's probably about average, though, right? 140 packs and 13 legendaries. That's still above average, probably.
I think it was it felt ugly because 3 of them were the green one with the magic with armor strike that nobody wants.
Zebajin.
Yeah, I got him
Zebajin,
3 times. I actually only got to flip over 5 cards because I got 3 of him, and then one of the other cards was 2.
I don't know why nobody wants him. Like, he might
I haven't
some
used
rule
him
sets
much.
might be a good play.
Have you, Bajangles? Do you ever use that card?
I used it once in a magic only minimal mana. I went up against Luis Exul, one of Azrakan's. I'm sure you recognize the name Suilx. That guy.
Yeah.
Ended up beating him with the last stand, and of course he got all sorts of shit talk courtesy of the Zebajin win.
I don't message some of those other players when I beat them. Maybe I should start to do it.
Oh, I talk trash to everybody, man.
Yeah.
I
talk trash to
only
everyone.
really talk trash with you and Virus and Tails occasionally. And I even missed when I beat Pachinko baby the other day, and I felt
trust
bad.
me once, but I remember when I lost to you, you were like, "Oh, I didn't even notice because I'm only seeing the people when they beat me, because when I beat them, I don't even see them."
because I was that day I was just winning so much. I showed you like he was like in my win streak of like 10 wins in a row, and I was just rolling that day, so I didn't even notice that I beat him. And then we played it back, and it was one of those silly games where the Grim Bardoon team just destroyed you.
They're beneath me, people that I beat.
I beat Bajangles mostly with my Immortalis team. He beats it sometimes, but that's the one that seems to get you.
But you know what? I found another low mana match combination that nobody was expecting, but it got me 2 wins. It's like the Time Meddler with Avina.
See, right here, these 5, I'm almost ready to retire. I beat Baby Puppy, who's pretty good. I beat Tars, who's pretty good. I beat Plato and Mondroid, so I went back to back beating Immortal Gods, and then
Oh, the last one was.
I took out Bojangles, and I was just
Oh,
like,
and
okay, I'm done.
you're keeping it all just for the show, so you can show. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know how these low mana matches they play all these stupid sneakers and like 2-3 mana cards, like they fill the whole board
Yeah,
with 2-3 mana cards.
I'll show
Well,
my losses too for you guys.
time time meddler with Avina is destroying them, and with all the reflex from time meddler, it just
you know who I'm starting to use and is getting me some wins because people don't see it coming is
what at what's with Avina as well.
do, 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 do. This one, and not for the arrows, for the shield.
On what you put in the
On
shit?
on the wave brood.
So
Is that what you're doing?
you can put if you get archers out, you can put it on the wave brood so that it's attracting the damage and bouncing it back and not taking as much, or you can put it on the I'm forgetting the card, but the 12 cost with melee and archery in the front row.
Oh,
Um,
The dry
the
bone.
the dry bone raider. You put it on the dry bone raider in the front, and then she's taking half damage. Plus, she has armor, and she's doing her double attack melee damage stuff. And if you start her sometimes in the second position with that Mardar archer in front of her. She gets to the front, and she's just like a beast with a bunch of
or with
armor and a
Billy,
shield, and the other archer team just can't kill her, and she just tramples through everybody.
yeah.
And I actually won a game with Nomos. I was very proud of myself, but it was a very unique rule set against. It was against a pretty good player. I think it was against a Zircon or one of the guys that play all gold, where it was magic only and fire. So I busted him out, and he didn't have him probably because you don't think to own this card.
It's so funny when you mention Nomos because one of the tourneys that I was playing, I was just, you cannot really take advantage of the tactics, but I was like, my choice was Nomos, like based on what was there on the table. So I chose Nomos, and then I just click the, I think the third and the fourth position. And
And you ended up getting it?
yeah, when I was later when I was watching the game, that was exactly where his magic damage dealers were. It
Yeah,
was so
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was awesome because he used the rewards card with the double magic attack and his and then he used the big 12 cost with splash damage, and I reduced both of them down to 1. And so he's doing like 1/1 splash 1/1 and he's not hurting anybody.
but you were
on the
looking, but
team.
you were seeing them.
Yeah,
And
I could see them. It worked a
and
lot
mine
better.
was a shot in the dark, man. It was like I chose
Yeah.
these two spots and that's where they were.
So I haven't done these yet, Bojangles. Is that a miss? I
You
haven't
see,
forked over the cash to do it because I
oh
don't get beat by
Zedika.
them enough.
I think Zedika
I
is
But
important.
I feel like the Zedica and
Yeah.
the Prunda are the ones that I play the most. The
yeah,
white and blue and blue and black.
Because they have
Um,
a hero with a cleanse. I mean, that's the most important thing that you're getting out of it. You get good
well, you
splinters.
so Zedica is she's really strong in ranged only. So if it's like a bigger mana match and you can bring Wave Brood plus Queen of Crows plus uh the the turtle, the ninja turtle on water, plus the
Yeah.
armor provider from death. Yeah, it's a really strong play. I've snuck out a couple of wins, and
And
everybody goes
then
for the
and then there is it also in that there is an amplify, another archer
and
amplify.
an amplify. Yeah, Endura something. The
The
legendary from
two
water. Is
mana,
that what you mean?
no, the two mana.
Oh, the
uh,
warrior. Yeah. And the rust.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I found Zedico to be, of course, in the silent summoner stuff, but
Well, it's
I
also
think
yeah. It
it's
also
also
that
very
gives Wave Brood and Amplify with the Wielding Warrior too in
mm,
Champion. So
yeah.
it also gives the this guy the one with the torrents. What was it? 6 mana. Damn. That
You
tank
know who I
six
don't
mana
use, and this is
Torrance.
probably a miss, but I want to know if you're using it often, Bojangles, because I thought I would use it more. Is this one?
Oh, I use it
Uh,
often.
I spammed it when I first got it. But since I've tried to be much more strategic about it. So I had I think it was a melee from anywhere trample rule set for like 20 mana, and I tossed the desert dragon in the back. I was expecting sneak. Oh, it was a super sneak one. Tossed the desert dragon in the back, put ambush on the desert dragon, and just returned everything, trampled through the whole lineup. So there's certain use cases where I feel like a cane is really really strong. Uh, but I don't find myself reaching for her as often as I thought I would. And I still have
Yeah.
never used the lookout from her. It's always
Yeah, I
ambush.
haven't either. And the only time I've used her recently in competitive play was when the play I actually heard is pretty broken, and I got to use it once, and it is. It's a Kane in a gladiator match where you can combo it with green, and you give it to
Petrelba.
Kachelbra, and you let her
Oh, that's
ambush,
gross.
and then you put in a couple rusts on the team to make sure that that last person doesn't have any armor, and she almost guarantees that she's going to kill that thing in bloodlust on turn 0, up her speed, kill the next thing bloodlusting again. So like after turn 1 she's like double bloodlusted and then she just
That's game over.
proceeds
Yeah.
to erase the other team. So I think it might have been on your show. It was somebody's show mentioned that was super broken. And so I
Have you
tried it.
guys found yourselves using like Avena? Have you used the speed at all? I feel
Yes.
like
I have.
Rosa and Fabino, I make the selection a little bit more often between the two tactics, but I feel like every time I go for Avena, every time I go for a Kane, I know exactly what tactic I'm choosing.
Normally,
Of
I
course,
use
it's
the
too
heal
early.
because the team is being built to throw the heal onto a immunity monster in the front position of Immortalis or a Grimbard Demon Smith. But occasionally,
Why front
when
position?
the game starts and I see that their damage isn't going to go there and I have a healer, I decide to go speed instead and speed up my scattershot people so that they always go first. And it's worked. But it's occasional. It's only when you see the team and you go, you know what, one healer is going to be enough to keep that front card alive. They just don't have damage
Take the
that's
speed
guaranteed to
option.
go there. Take the speed option, and if it because in those matches it's usually kind of like my scatter shot versus yours, or it might be like there's like a key matchup, and if I boost my two guys up to speed, it can make me win that matchup because mine attack first, and if they happen to hit yours, well then I'm gonna win. Like having Dr. Blight with 3 speed if it's a scattershot rule set, or just putting 2 extra speed on the already quick what's the archer with the snare and
The
the
gym
5
meter?
no, well, yeah, Jim Meteor or the other one from White, the portal spinner. He's
Ah,
got he's got this snare and scatter shot, and he's as fast as a Gem Meteor, but he's got a shield and he can't miss flying. So he can be a good one to speed up. Or sometimes I'll just speed up my Immortalis or my Grimburn Dune. So now they're repairing earlier in the turn, or they're doing their magic attacks earlier in the turn, or they're doing their triage earlier in the turn. But it really has to be because that self heals just doesn't have a clear place because they want a shot lineup.
that
Oh
might
my.
not be a bad play in an enraged rule set for maybe smaller mana with the conjurer, tossing 2 extra speed on the conjurer as your front tank. That thing would just go, unless somebody's got True Strike, you're pretty much untouchable.
Yeah, the other time I've used it is in super sneak lineups when you realize that if your Jared Scar attacks first, it's going to make a big difference.
Mm,
More than
yeah.
a self heal would matter. So,
Well, I should start looking at the
oh,
speed option more.
Supreme Victory says he uses it in reverse speed sometimes. That's interesting.
To speed the opponent.
To speed the other team. I haven't tried that yet. Like the whole like putting extra archery on the other team because you
Oh,
have
sneaky.
force field or slowing down,
Force
speeding
field.
up the other
Yeah.
team.
But those are the
I
most
haven't run those
beautiful.
up to enough.
Those are the most beautiful battles.
But you know what? I don't really think of going white and reverse speed too often. I usually go green or black. So
Well,
I don't know. I feel like life is a solid
If you have
reverse speed
only
option.
life, if you have only life, what you're not going to go with
I don't
the
know.
Rift Watcher one.
The green team still. You got the zero cost mage, the zero cost archers. They got another zero cost archer in the new set. The one with True Strike and Affliction, who's like a big drop.
What zero? What do you mean
Wait,
zero?
what? Zero cost?
Not zero cost, 8 cost. He's huge. He's a monster.
Oh,
Zero cost. I was like, what?
This guy. But now he can, in a higher mana reverse speed, you can have him. You can have the Goblin Psychic. You can have the Goblin Tower.
the redwood.
The Redwood. You can there's just so many things with one speed that just hit.
And they
So
both got True Strike. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then also, which is kind of funny, she becomes like a late round healer in reverse speed instead of being an early round healer, which sometimes can be beneficial. So
If you have
I
a
end up-
clean for that, yeah.
yeah, but I usually go green with I'd have to add with what's his name with I'm terrible with card names lately. See, Bojangles, I forget everything's name. So
On another note, we didn't talk about it with the conflicts. What did you guys think of the intro and
It's
like
awesome.
the lore behind the conflicts?
how do I watch it again?
There's a
'Cause-
button that says intro.
Yeah,
It takes you
just
right
go
back to it.
You just go to where you went before on the shop, on the conflicts, go to arms. Where was it?
Yeah, and enter the conflict.
Page, yeah, enter.
Oh, this. Okay. Okay, so hold on. Oh no, I have to go to settings. Save.
Why you mute them?
Huh?
It's part of the experience, the sound, man.
I'm usually playing while listening to something. So
No, but now you just now muted it.
Blow out some eardrums
sorry.
on stream.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. Top right. Right next to the little academy. Right next to the book.
Well,
Beneath
below
your name.
below Steven, below Steven, below Steven, up in the corner,
Top, very top right, Steve. Yeah, below SPS, bro.
below your name.
Oh, this is hiding it.
In a
On my
dim
screen.
tavern, a stranger approaches and hints at raids on Empire supply lines around Icewall Bay. But you're
Yeah,
a
the
battle
music
mage.
is cool.
You're for the arena, not the battlefield.
That's what I'm saying. The
It's
sound
just
is
alone,
like
though.
of the experience.
Cards, battle wagons
It's
to
like
support the
90% of the
cause.
experience here.
Already you're counting
I feel like
coins
it's not
in your
nearly.
head.
This whole thing
But then the
was very,
stranger
very cool. I
mentions
thought it
that
was
the
well done. I
Empire
think
has
it's
the ancient
interesting.
red worm rage on
It's a
its
good
side.
way for Nate to get his
You weigh the
fingers and
odds.
lore wrapped
your
around all
choice,
this
battle
stuff.
mage.
Also, Red Worm is mentioned. The favorite card.
Okay, that was cool.
You gotta watch it again with sound, dude.
That I could hear it.
Oh, you could hear it.
Oh,
Yeah, I could hear it, and so could they. But Zoom isn't going to send it to you because Zoom doesn't send you my audio because it figures it would annoy you.
Stupid Zoom.
Yeah, but the crowd could hear it, and I could hear it. So
Very cool, man. Yeah, I thought it was
yeah,
well
yeah.
done.
I mean, it's definitely cool. I didn't listen to it the day it came out. I know Nate told us to, so you can all shame Steve. But they also in the same thing said, every second that you don't fill your wagons is 1 second that you're not earning production points. So I was like, I got to get past this and buy my wagons and start getting my points going.
Yeah. Well,
So,
but that's why they put the option that you can watch it later.
Yeah. And I'd meant to do it, but since Bajingles wanted my opinion on it, I figured I should go listen to it, and it was cool. I haven't got as much into the lore as I probably should, considering how much I have invested in the game, and I should be able to probably talk about the lore because I think it will bring some more people into the game. My whole problem was when they originally did the lore set, they jumped around in stories, and it got me disinterested because by the time a story got interesting, they would sometimes go to a completely different story, and then I'd forget about the additional characters when they came back like 4 videos later, and I'm like, this is wild. Guys,
It's
like if you wrote a book like this, I would hate you. So
it's like making Star Wars 4, 5, and 6, and then going and making 1, 2, and 3 later.
But it's even worse than that. It's like going halfway through Star Wars 1 and then jumping just to like some other one. And the other thing is, and this is something like back when they used to do, did either of you ever compete in the lore stories? Were you here back then, Bajangles and Bebeomega?
No. What was this?
Okay, so when the game was on Steam, they would have contests where they would allow players to try to write the lore, and you could win packs. And then if you won, your story became the lore of the card. So I used to compete in those. I never won one. I got second like 4 times. I got really annoyed because there were like these professional writers basically who would come and write a story. But
And there was no chat GPT at the time.
yeah, there was no chat GPT at the time. So I'm an amateur lore writer. So I wrote a lot of lore. But the thing I used to comment on them sometimes is that the winning story, I used to tell them, like I tried to tell the team, you're not making a cohesive lore. It doesn't make any sense for the actual card to have that kind of backstory. And I think the time I explained that to them was there was a neutral assassin card, right, in the game, the elf assassin, and it could go to any team. And the story that got picked to be her lore in theory, and I think they didn't actually make this her lore. I think they ended up redoing them all. But like Immortalis betrayed her and killed her entire family, and the reason she was neutral was because the Death Clan destroyed her clan. And I'm like, how are you going to have like the best card to combo with Skeleton Assassin in the Death Sneak team have a lore story that like her arch nemesis is the card that uses her the most? I'm like, that doesn't create lore that was really good. And I feel like they still sometimes do that. Like the idea, like the one that frustrated me the most recently was the Waka one, because you listen to the Waka story and he takes like a ragbag group of nobodies and chants their weapons, and they go and take out like a massive army, and I go, yeah, I can't even kill Grim Bardoon, so or like,
there was no Grim Bardoon.
I know, but Waka got like strong for a minute, and then Grim Bardoon took over the meta, and now you can like, it has to be really low mana, and people still throw out that Grim Bardoon team. I've seen it in like 16 mana. They still do it. It's wild.
I still do it. Like there is a 4 mana weapon trainer.
But yeah, that was fun.
He's
like
also neutral, so you can use it anywhere.
Yeah, if you dig through my peaked post like from 5 years ago, you'll see my Splinterlands lore stories I used to write are on there. But that was
talk about good content, Steve. You got to bring that thing back and read it on air, man. Let's hear your your lore contribution, bro.
That's funny. When Redx says I still do it, you still write lore? That would be kind of interesting if he's just doing it for fun. I don't know if that's what he mentioned. You know, having the AI clean up my grammar would probably make my stories a little bit better, because I wasn't really proofreading them. Because, man, I tell you guys, like, I, poor man, whaled myself into this game better than probably most people. I was doing the writing contest. I was doing this. I was doing that. I got into the group called Contest Kings. Like, everything you could do back then to get free assets within this ecosystem, I was doing, like, religiously. So it was quite a fun thing because
And now
that's
you
how I
don't.
built up all those cards.
That's a good story because now you don't need to anymore.
Nope.
So be like Steve. You want to be the next Steve? Start doing the right things and accumulating. And I think that would be a good note to put the show to sleep.
Yeah, we've been, as Bojangles would say, here the over 2 hours, no, chatting away, doing our
I'm
best to
feeling-
compete with the long format, but it was more just because we had a good time talking.
Yeah,
You want to go
I'm
ahead and say
sorry.
goodbye to the crowd?
I'm feeling sorry for Django's. We have to let him go. We have to let him
I wouldn't
sleep.
feel
Oh, it's
too
all good,
sorry
man.
for him. It's the middle of the day where he is.
Oh,
It's 2 p.m. here, man.
oh,
I'm
really?
getting ready to head to the office. Yeah.
Then how come you never wanted to join us before?
He's joined us before.
No, but it's always when I asked him like the last minute, he was like, "Yeah, I mean, I thought like
Well, you guys have switched your schedules, man, and
no, we've always
I
been
think you
we've
used to do
always been
Mondays or
this- I-
We
Tuesdays.
used to do Mondays. We switched to
Yeah.
Thursdays, so maybe Thursdays are easier for him.
Well, I mean, but still, it's like Mondays. Like it was the same time, like
Or wait,
different.
Yeah,
is
my-
it,
my-
it's Friday where you are then, huh?
It's Friday where I am. Yeah. So Tuesday mornings are I'm usually busier. So
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that
Well,
makes more sense that he'd have
then
more
I
of a
don't-
chance on a Friday
Then I feel
afternoon.
sorry only for me then.
say it again.
Then I feel sorry only for me then.
Oh. Well, we'll try and make it a more regular occurrence, man. I love hopping on and chat with you guys.
Yeah,
It's
we enjoyed having you, man. We thank you for your
Yeah, thanks. We're definitely looking to have
Contribution.
guests on these off weeks. I kind of said this to the crowd. All you regulars are more than welcome to reach out to me or Bebeomega if you want to just come on the show and chat. Because we definitely, with the new format, we have these off weekends where, there'll be sometimes stuff going on with the game or an update that came out, but there'll be a lot of times where we just want to kind of chill and chat and review things going on and talk with the crowd. So
here.
awesome. Well, thanks for the invite, fellas. It has been too long. I think I was looking at it the other day. It's already been, 8 months or something, 7 months since we had you guys on,
Yeah,
and Hep and I joined you guys for that
yeah. We still have
marathon.
so
I
much
think we ran
good-
for the
so
better
much
part of
good-
4 hours last time.
so much.
yeah, because Hep was here
conversation to
too,
go
so that was a long show, but it was a good one.
Yeah,
So,
fun.
So thanks
All
everybody
right, gents.
for joining us. Thanks for being regularly with us and to listening to us because they didn't have much chance to follow the chat. But I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation and hope to see you next Thursday.
yeah,
Town hall
thank you
next week.
so much, everybody. Sorry we didn't answer all the stuff that was in the chat, but we do appreciate you being here.
All right, guys. Thanks for the invite. Catch you guys later.
All right, bye.